Hello and welcome to Inside Sports. I'm Wes Decker. Great to have you along this week. And just when you thought that this whole government shutdown was another example of all news being bad news, there comes this. Dateline Port Chester, New York, where earlier this week a stuffed armadillo belonging to Willie Nelson and his band, which evidently had been pilfered about a week and a half ago, was returned unharmed in a sealed box. Thank goodness for that. Evidently, there had been some surveillance video of the woman actually making off with this toy critter back on September the 19th from a theater where Willie was playing. And the search had been on ever since. According to reports, the woman who brought it back was not the same one who was in the surveillance video. The band's manager says they have no interest in pressing any charges anyway. They're just glad to have Old Dillo back. That's right, Old Dillo back where he belongs with Willie and the band. Now, what the bad news is, won't be heading out on the road with them anytime soon because Willie's suffered an injury which has caused him to cancel some upcoming tour dates. However, he's very happy to be off that Old Dillo emotional roller coaster and have the armadillo back where it belongs. And there's also another, I can't substantiate this, but evidently he's working on a new song. If he can only get Julio Iglesias on board, it's called To All the Armadillos I've Loved Before. That's what we've got this week to start the show. You know it has to get better from here. We're searching for a mascot for this show. I guess it won't be Old Dillo. Coming up this week, we've got plenty of football from week 4. A couple of South Hagerstown Rebels will be here. And we'll also talk about some volleyball, show you the action from a couple of Thursdays ago, a classic match here in Washington County, and the Frank Keyser Invitational cross-country meet. That and a whole lot more coming up. I just want to sing Always on My Mind now. We'll be back in just a moment.
Behind every great child, there is a great foundation. Premier Martial Arts will empower your child and give them a premier foundation to success. Our instructors have the passion to teach classes designed to build premier skills. Your child will develop greater self-control, confidence, and concentration. Premier Martial Arts will take your child up the path of greatness. Call Premier Martial Arts today.
Channel has evolved into Fox Sports 1 with the best in live sports programming that fans love. Major League Baseball, NCAA football, UFC, NASCAR, and more. Join the new era in sports with Fox Sports 1 on Antietam Cable Channel 43. Available in HD on Channel 523.
Honey, I just got the mail. We got 6 new bills today.
We don't have enough money.
Mommy, will we still get to live in our house?
It may be time to consider bankruptcy. Call Bodie Law. Do it for yourself. Do it for your family.
Injured on the job? Been denied compensation? Need money for medical bills and lost wages? Know your rights. Insurance companies have lawyers, and so should you. Protect yourself. Call Bodie Law, your Hagerstown legal team, for help at 888-823-1255. It's what we do for you that counts.
Welcome back to the show. Our featured football game was a showdown between county and conference rivals, the Williamsport Wildcats and the Boonsboro Warriors, although the series has been decidedly one-sided recently. Entering Friday night's 43rd renewal, Boonsboro had won 12 of the last 13 to take a 27-15 all-time lead. So would it make a difference that this was a Williamsport team off its first win of the season, having defeated FSK 28-21 a week ago, while Boonsboro was beaten for the first time and beaten up 7 days earlier, 55-13 at the hands of Middletown? Well, what we did know was that through the season's first 3 weeks, Wildcat games had averaged nearly 64 total points, and Warrior contests had averaged just over 52, meaning that we could be in for a shootout on homecoming in Boonsboro. Williamsport won the toss and deferred, meaning that the county's worst scoring defense would be tested right from the start. To the Wildcats' delight, the D was up to the challenge, forcing consecutive 3-and-outs on Boonsboro's first 2 possessions. What was frustrating for Williamsport was that while its potent offense moved the ball on its opening 2 series, it had nothing to show for it but the yardage, coming up empty in the red zone and then failing to convert a 4th down at its own 45 that would prove costly very quickly when Warrior quarterback Jeff Bennett hit Jared DeRocher for 34 yards on the very next play, setting up Trevor Walsh 2 snaps later from 8 yards out for the game's first points. And after Owen Glass's 2-point run, it was 8-0 Boonsboro with 44 seconds left in the first quarter. Early in the second, after a Williamsport third down conversion was nullified by a procedure penalty, Boonsboro got another break thanks to a bad Wildcat punt snap that again provided the Warrior offense with a short field. And on the second play of the resulting possession, Ethan Foster weaved his way through the Williamsport D on a gorgeous 30-yard touchdown jaunt, Boonsboro's second TD in 1 minute and 43 seconds. Trailing 15-0, the Wildcats embarked on a 79-yard drive mixing 4 passes with 10 runs. The quarterback Savon Brown paid off with a desperately needed 5-yard dive for 6 before hooking up with Manny Morris for 2 more to pull Williamsport within 7 at 15-8. But after forcing the third Boonsboro 3-and-out, Brown threw a pass he would have loved to have had back into the arms of Glass at the Williamsport 32-yard line. It took a mere 25 seconds for the Warriors to cash in as Logan Roberts burst in from 12 yards out to put Boonsboro back in front by 14 points. But only for 1 minute and 9 seconds until Brown went up top 57 yards to Morris to the house to cut the Boonsboro advantage to 8 at 22-14 with just 2:11 remaining in the half. The Warriors weren't content to sit on that one-score lead, though, fashioning a 76-yard drive on which Trevor Walsh ran once, caught a pair of passes, and threw this one to Nick Hubbard all the way down to the Wildcat 41. 3 plays later, Bennett hooked up with Foster, who found space in between Williamsport defenders on a wheel route with 17 seconds left on the second quarter clock to send Boonsboro to the break with the momentum and a 28-14 lead. Williamsport came out unfazed to start the third quarter, hitting a big play just seconds in, good for 29 yards to the Warrior 25. However, just like their first trip into the red zone, the Cats would again be denied by the Boonsboro D, at least until their next series, when Jordan Stonebreaker capped a 74-yard drive on which he gained 51, including the final 4, and following Brown's conversion, Williamsport's deficit was 6 at 28-22. For all of 15 seconds, that is. The speed and maneuverability of Trevor Walsh and some solid Warrior blocking downfield victimized the Wildcat defense for a 65-yard touchdown on the ensuing play from scrimmage. Foster followed with a 2-point run to push the Boonsboro lead back to 14 at 36-22 with 6:14 to play in quarter number 3. Williamsport wasted little time getting to the brink of answering before Chance Thomas stripped Brown of the football and Roberts recovered for the Warriors at their own 6. A minute 47 later, Williamsport got it back after a Boonsboro punt, but couldn't solve the Warrior D, coming up short and turning it over on downs at the Boonsboro 26 early in the fourth quarter. On their ensuing possession, the Warriors had a touchdown called back because of a penalty, and Williamsport took advantage when Brown connected with Morris on the 10th play of an 80-yard drive. And after Brown bowled his way in on the conversion, Boonsboro's edge was reduced to 36-30 with 3:28 still showing on the clock. After electing not to attempt an onside kick, Williamsport seemingly had the Warriors where they wanted them at 3rd and 10. But Bennett had other ideas, finding DeRocher for 24 yards to extend the possession with just over 2 minutes remaining in regulation. And then a minute later, again on 3rd and 10, Foster burst through a huge opening up the middle to seal an entertaining, hard-fought football game as Boonsboro defeated Williamsport for the 13th time in the last 14 meetings to ensure a happy homecoming for the Warriors, who managed to escape with the most important stat of the night, a win. But some of the numbers behind the result bear mentioning, including the 893 yards of total offense for which the teams combined. And, oh, by the way, another penalty flag has just been thrown. There were a ridiculous 24 of them for 195 yards that really interfered with an otherwise fun-to-watch football game. They detracted from some tremendous individual performances like Williamsport's Stonebreaker, who ran for 129 yards and a touchdown, Boonsboro's Walsh, who accounted for 147 total yards and scored twice, Williamsport's Brown, who combined for 346 yards rushing and passing and had a hand in 24 of the Wildcats' points, Boonsboro's Foster, who had 11 touches for 98 yards and 2 TDs, and Williamsport's Morris, who caught 6 passes for 116 yards and a pair of touchdowns. In the end, though, the biggest stat of the night might have been the smallest, the 0 in the turnover column for Boonsboro, especially considering that Williamsport committed 2, one that led to a Boonsboro touchdown and one that prevented a Williamsport touchdown in a game ultimately decided by a touchdown. It's the third tough loss of the season for Williamsport, who falls to 1-3, having lost those games by a grand total of 12 points. The Wildcats host North Hagerstown on Friday. Meanwhile, Boonsboro raises its record to 3-1 and starts Antietam Conference play with a victory. The Warriors look to remain atop the conference standings when they host Brunswick on Friday. The Railroaders are also 1-0, 2-2 overall. The other school to win its Antietam opener on Friday, South Hagerstown, and two of the Rebels who made it happen join me to talk about it next.
At Murray's Tire and Auto, we were here for you then, and we're here for you now. While the way we look might have changed over the years, the quality of the work you've come to count on remains the same. From preventive maintenance services to emissions repairs to major and minor mechanical work. Plus, Murray's carries Cooper and other major brands of tires and uses state-of-the-art equipment to accommodate all rim and tire sizes. And now shopping for tires has never been easier. At Murray's, your family's safety behind the wheel is important to us as our own. Enjoy old-fashioned service with all the modern conveniences at Murray's Tire and Auto. Still here for you in Williamsport. Antietam Cable is pleased to announce another exciting innovation, Antietam To Go. Antietam To Go lets you watch TV shows on your computer or portable device, laptop, tablet, smartphone. Watch what you want, when you want, where you want from the most popular networks on television. Power Antietam To Go with Antietam high-speed internet for the perfect entertainment combo. Just visit myactv.net/Antietam To Go to get started. It's TV your way with Antietam To Go, free with your TV subscription. Thank you for being an Antietam Cable customer.
Welcome back to Inside Sports. We continue now with a couple of South Hagerstown Rebel football players, Isiaha Smith and Sabry Mkamba. Welcome to the show, guys. Great to have you here so far. Successful season to this point for sure, at 3-1 coming in. Sabry, let's talk about Friday night's game against Catoctin, a 44-28 victory for South. And you look at that and you say 44 points on the board, great night for the offense. You play defense.
Yeah.
That defense hasn't been quite as stout as it was a year ago. Now, you graduated 21 seniors from last year's team. Now you're one of the seniors, one of the leaders on this team. Do you feel like that defense, though, is coming along here as the season is going? I mean, after all, you forced 6 turnovers on Friday night.
I definitely feel like our defense is making strides, very large strides. Even though it didn't show on the scoreboard at practice, there's people who are starting to step up, and I think all you need is a little bit of confidence. And then once you get that confidence and you know that you can make plays on the varsity level, I'm pretty sure our defense is really close to being, in my opinion, better than what it was last year. We just gotta get a couple more pieces in there and figure it all out.
Gave up less than 11 points per game last year, which is just absolutely outstanding. This year, 28.8, but as you said, it seems to be getting better. And you talk about that confidence. What's the biggest difference between playing defense on the JV team versus stepping up to that varsity level?
On JV, I noticed this. It's like there's so much room for error. Like you can play at a lesser level and get a lot of accomplished, but on varsity, it's airtight. You mess up one coverage, you step the wrong way, the other teams they're gonna score. So it's like you really have to be on your game. And a lot of the kids, they kind of got on the varsity defense thinking like, I can play the way that I played on JV and everything's going to figure itself out. But they're realizing very quickly, I have to get my stuff together or this could be a long season.
Yeah, and as you said, it's been a little bit of a learning curve, but it's starting to get there offensively. Isiaha, I don't think you can have many qualms with what the offense has done so far this season. Pretty much right there where you were last year, averaging about 36 points per game. And it sort of all starts with you. And I know in talking to Coach Peer before the season started, you know, the big concern was graduating all of those offensive linemen from a year ago and 3 of 4 tight ends. Who in the world was going to clear the way for you? But tell me why things have been so successful this season, and you're ahead of the pace from last year now.
You know what, it's everyone working hard right now. Our offensive line works so hard, and yeah, we graduated our whole offensive line last year. But you know what, you got to trust your coaching, you got to trust the people in front of you. And so that's pretty much what it is. We all trust each other, we're all the brotherhood. So I feel like we trust each other, so we're going to do what we have to do to win. And we had to graduate that many people, so it's just the next man up. So.
And you know you have to lean on each other to be successful. And as you say, a lot of that is trust, and as Sabry pointed out, a lot of confidence. And I think those guys have gotten more and more confident too, you know, starting on this level this year. And knowing that you're behind them, I'm sure, is big for them too, because there's a lot of pride potentially in you know, the numbers that you put up. And so far this season, I mean, they've been absolutely astronomical. I mean, you look at 261 yards in the first game, 192 in the second one, 295, a career high in week 3, and then you just go and blow that out of the water in that Catoctin game, 364 yards. I mean, what is going on with you in that backfield? What are you seeing that is enabling you to be so successful?
Holes are just opening up, and I'm going right through them. I feel like I'm a better player than I was last year, and I can actually, I see it earlier. I trust my linemen to the fullest, so I know that they're going to open the holes up. I'm a lot more patient than I was last year, so finding those holes is a lot easier. They're opening them up. We're working hard together, practicing and everything. So I feel like that's pretty much what it is. Me and the line are working together to have those big games like that.
And Sabry, back over on the defensive side of things, you're the team leader in sacks, right up there among the leaders in tackles. As a senior this year, do you feel that there's a little more on your shoulders so far as leadership is concerned?
I feel like last year it was kind of, I didn't have anything to prove last year. So coming up, it was just, we're going to give you this spot. And that was the first time that I played D-line in my whole high school career. So it was, we're going to give you a shot and we're going to see what you can do. This year, they know what I'm capable of and they know the type of leader that I am. So a lot more is expected of me, not just to play well, but to also to get everybody else to play well. Because when he's not around, I have to help the defensive linemen. I have to help the linebackers as best as to my abilities because they know that I'm capable of that. But I embrace that role, so it's real fun.
Yeah, well, it looks like it. You certainly play that way. And Isiaha, let me ask you something. You know, looking back to last year and your motivation this year, obviously you and Sabry both seniors. You know, you went through a season last year where you win those first 8 games and you lose the last 2, and all of a sudden the place you thought you were going after week 10 was taken away. So this year coming in, what has been your mindset in terms of getting to the postseason?
Our mindset as a team has just been to get better every day. It's pretty much what it boils down to. If you can't get better every day, then we're not going to make it to the playoffs. So we just want to get better every day and peak at the right time, and I feel like it's going to happen this year.
Yeah, on a pace right now, you are personally to rush for 2,743 yards. I mean, that is just a ridiculous number. Best of luck to both of you guys and the team the rest of the season. Got Smithsburg coming up this week, and we'll be watching you, actually, the Antietam Cable game, North-South, coming up in November. Thank you for being here, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
I'm back right after this. Shake hands. I've got more Week 4 football to talk about in just a moment.
I think what makes Beauregard different is the fact that when the clients come in here, they do feel comfortable.
It doesn't feel like the sterile atmosphere of getting a haircut. It's more of having a conversation with a friend while you're getting a haircut. Being in the sales profession, it's important for me to sell myself, and part of that is my personal appearance. I've yet to encounter a bad haircut from Beauregard's. They've all been very consistent over the past 13 years.
Beauregard's, we're in Northern Avenue, directly across the street from Gold's Gym.
Boxes are good for a number of things, but not as your flooring store.
Excuse me, where can I find your ceramic tile expert?
Ceramic tile expert? You're looking at him.
But aren't you the...
ceramic tile expert.
At Carpet Gallery, flooring isn't just one of the things we do, it's the only thing we do. And when they say free, we say, really? Here, you'll meet with flooring and ceramic tile experts with over 70 years of experience, and that's for real, and that's real value. Trust Carpet Gallery for all your flooring needs and think outside the box.
Welcome back to Inside Sports. Through 4 weeks, 3 county football teams are 3-1. Boonsboro, South Hagerstown, and quick, who else? That would be the school that, if the season ended today, would have the best playoff seed. It's the Hancock Panthers. After spoiling Clear Springs' homecoming last Friday, Hancock is also the only team in the county with a winning streak. The Panthers upended the Blazers 21-14, scoring all of their points after halftime. Clear Spring had broken up a scoreless stalemate just 50 seconds before the intermission on Jake Brandt's 26-yard touchdown pass to Henry Eby, but the 7-0 lead lasted less than 5 minutes into the third quarter when Hancock quarterback Jesse Wolford saw the Blazers TD with a 20-yarder of his own and then raised it with a 2-point conversion toss to Noah Teeter. It was then a special teams play by Clear Springs' Joey Fisher that led to the Blazers retaking the lead. Brandt capitalized on the short field by finding the tall Colin Schultz for a 24-yard TD. But Clear Springs' 14-8 edge lasted all of 60 seconds, and it was Wolford again, this time outracing the Blazer D down the sideline for 70 of his game-high 171 rushing yards as the Panthers jumped back in front 15-14 and he would finish his and Hancock's big night, romping 40 yards for his and Hancock's third touchdown of the game with just over 2 minutes to play. For Clear Spring, there's been a direct correlation between scoring and winning. 62 points in its lone victory and just 33 in its 3 losses. The Blazers host 1-3 Northern Garrett on Saturday, while Hancock completes a 3-game road trip in Baltimore on Saturday against the 1-2 Maryland Academy of Technology and Health Sciences. The Panthers are presently third in the 1A West playoff standings and off to a 3-1 start for the first time since a 4-0 start and their last playoff appearance in 2004. It was Smithsburg who eliminated Hancock that year, but this year the Leopards are in danger of missing the postseason for a third consecutive time following a 19-12 defeat at Brunswick. For the first time in 2013, Smithsburg didn't cough up a fourth quarter lead. Unfortunately, last Friday, it happened in the third. After using their own punting game, though not conventionally or safe to say exactly the way they drew it up to set up their first touchdown, a 5-yard Garrett Spinks run, the Leopards used Brunswick's punt game against them thanks to Bryce Scott's block that Dalton Kondo quickly converted into 6 points to extend the Smithsburg lead to 12-0 in the second quarter. They would turn out to be the last points the Leopards would score. Through a hail of penalty flags, Brunswick scored the game's final 19 points to send Smithsburg to its 4th loss of the season, all by 1 possession without a victory. The Leopards face South Hagerstown on Friday. Smithsburg's last win came in Week 9 of last season. If it were only as easy for the purple and gold as it was for the red, white, and black last Friday, North Hagerstown notched a victory without even playing. The Hub's scheduled opponent, Mervo, was forced to forfeit after being involved in a bench-clearing brawl the previous week. Now 2-2, North travels to Williamsport for its Antietam Conference opener on Friday. Speaking of North and Williamsport, 2 schools who played a classic on the volleyball court. A look back to 2 Thursdays ago ahead, plus the 36th annual Frank Keyser Invitational cross-country meet at Boonsboro this past Saturday. Video and results coming up when you come back.
What's bigger than a baker's dozen and a lot more exciting? Antietam Cable's Sports Plus, 18 extra sports channels, MLB Network, Golf Channel, ESPNU, Big Ten Network, Outdoor Channel, World Fishing Network, Horse Racing TV, Fox College Sports, NFL Network, NFL Red Zone, every touchdown from every game every Sunday during the regular season and more. Antietam Cable Sports Plus, just $7.99 per month. If you already have a digital box, you can get Sports Plus activated instantly. Call now, 301-797-5000.
Early detection is the key in the fight against breast cancer.
If you notice something, get it looked at, don't wait. My biggest regret is I waited. And, I ended up being stage 3 and 7 of my lymph nodes. So don't wait. If you think there's something wrong, get it taken care of.
Log on to antietamcable.com/stop breast cancer for links that could save your life.
Welcome back to the show. It was 2 Thursdays ago on the volleyball court that the defending 2A state champion Williamsport Wildcats met the 2-time defending 3A state champion North Hagerstown Hubs. It was also a matchup of the last 2 county and conference champs, and if you needed more, dating back to last season, Coach Megan Crawford's Hubs entered on a 21-match win streak, while Coach Emily Crabtree's Wildcats came in riding a 16-match unbeaten streak. And the Wildcats' last loss, September 24th, 2012, to the Hubs. But early on, it appeared that Williamsport had no designs on losing its second in a row to North, seizing the early lead 12-6 before North would whittle its disadvantage to 1 on several occasions and had closed to 20-18 late before Williamsport won 5 of the next 7 points, with Courtney Malott punctuating a 25-20 first set win. In the second set, Williamsport raced out to a 12-7 lead, aiming to go up 2-0. But North wasn't going to go so easily, authoring a 6-0 run later in the set that turned a 17-13 deficit into a 19-17 lead on the tandem block of Mickey Moody and Kalia Frost. Williamsport tied it at 21 before Zoe Schreiber put North back in front to stay, and then she powered home the winner to pull the Hubs even at 1 set apiece, taking Game 2 25-22. In the pivotal third set, similar to the second, Williamsport again got off to a hot start, with Brooklyn Welch helping the Cats to an early 9-5 edge, but again, North Hagerstown rallied back. First, Sarah Bentley got the Hubs back to even at 12, and later Schreiber put them ahead 14-13. But Williamsport found its resolve when Carly Grimes hammered this one to vault Williamsport back in front, 17-16. But the Hubs countered with a 6-2 run, capped by Christine Randall's kill. Williamsport closed to within one at 23-22 before North Hagerstown scored the final 2 points to take a 2-1 lead and showed no signs of letting up to start the fourth, jumping on top 3-1. But the Wildcats weren't finished, riding the serving of Samantha Raitt to a 10-7 lead. The advantage grew to 6 at 23-17 when Malott put this Raitt set away. Then, working on their second set point, Welch sent the Cats and the match to a fifth and deciding game where North Hagerstown got the early jump, going up 4-1 on Jay LaBelle's kill. But Williamsport would score 5 of the next 8 points to draw within 1 at 7-6. However, North maintained the advantage and extended it to 4 on the strength of Frost's right arm at 12-8. Williamsport followed with 2 straight before the Hub Junior answered again, only to have the Cats score back-to-back to inch back to within 1 at 13-12, and then, following a North Hagerstown timeout, Malott denied Schreiber at the net to knot it at 13. And that's when controversy struck. Malott's spike appeared to change direction once it cleared the net off the hand of Randall and might still have landed in, but after further discussion was ruled a point for North, match point no less, at 14-13. The Wildcats dug down to stave off defeat and retie it on the next point, and Lindsay Mowbray followed with a serve that put North on the brink, only to see Schreiber rally her troops to tie it again at 15. And to Williamsport's chagrin, there was more Schreiber and another Hub match point just around the corner. And this time, North would need no more as Schreiber put the stubborn Wildcats away in the fifth and final set, 17-15. Since that thrilling victory, North Hagerstown won its next 2 matches before playing in the Arundel tournament on Saturday and then falling at James Wood Monday night. Williamsport, meantime, bounced back by winning 3 straight matches. Both schools still have undefeated 4-time Class 1A state champ Smithsburg on their respective schedules. Williamsport hosts the Leopards October 15th. The Hubs go to Smithsburg next Thursday, the 10th. Both matches carry conference championship implications. In cross country, the champions were home on Saturday, hosting the largest event of the season in the county, the 36th annual Frank Keyser Invitational at Boonsboro. In the girls' small school race, the outcome was really never in doubt as the Warriors' Megan Grams and Haley Wright shot to the front and ran 1-2 from start to finish, blistering their home course in the process. Grams recorded her fastest time ever, 17 minutes and 36 seconds, the 3rd fastest time ever turned in on the Boonsboro course. She bested Wright by nearly 18 seconds, although the sophomore's PR of 17:53.9 was good for 5th all-time on the course. The Warriors' Courtney Cunningham established a new PR2 covering the 3 miles in 1929.2, equating to an 11th place finish. Now, while the individual performances of Boonsboro's top 3 were tough to top, the Warriors' top 7 were topped by Catoctin's top 7 by a single point, 69-70. The Boonsboro boys team, led by Sean Snyder's best time ever on the Warrior course, 16:06.3, finished 3rd behind Catoctin, whose David Dorsey set a new course mark of 14:50.5, and Liberty. Snyder was 10th individually, and Williamsport's Clay Smith came in 14th. In the girls' large school race, while North Hagerstown's Emily Ward was a bit disappointed with her 7th place finish, she was pleased with her time, a PR of 18:26.4. All of the county schools except Hancock will be in Smithsburg on Saturday for the Don Stoner Invitational. Conference meets then loom 2 weeks from Friday at Oakdale. 1 week from today, I'm back at it, and I hope you'll be here too. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the inside.
Hey, your sisters and your brothers, your haters and your lovers, you gotta get up in the streets.